Ladies and gentlemen, may I please have your attention? Please have your tickets in hand before you board the plane. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Johan Castell and you're watching Wings. On the show today, we cover mountain festivals across Kashmir and Ladakh. And the recent breakthrough at the Zojila Tunnel, which will connect Kashmir to Ladakh. We also feature the impressive masterpiece Sagrada Familia in Barcelona and how Pope Leo officially inaugurated the top tower. Our lead story for the week is from India's north. We take you to Kashmir, where mountain festivals are celebrated amid lush mountain meadows and good weather. Let's see how culture and traditions are on display in Kashmir. As summer temperatures soar across much of India, tourists are flocking to the cool mountain valleys of Kashmir, where pleasant weather, lush landscapes and the timeless charm of Dal Lake continue to draw visitors in large numbers. But beyond the shikara rides and houseboats, travelers are also discovering a vibrant calendar of cultural festivals that celebrate the region's rich heritage, traditions and mountain way of life. High in the mist-covered meadows of Gool, thousands of visitors gathered as the region hosted its first ever officially organized Gool Mela, a festival designed to showcase the area's natural beauty, culture and tourism potential. Despite strong winds and intermittent rain, crowds flocked to the scenic destination, where cultural performances, folk music, traditional sports, handicraft displays and local food stalls brought the celebrations to life. Jointly organized by the tourism department and the district administration, Ramban, the event highlighted a region known for its rolling green meadows, dense forests, natural springs and panoramic mountain views.
Government of Jammu and Kashmir.
The primary focus of the government of Jammu and Kashmir, and specifically our tourism department, is to actively promote the region's offbeat destinations, those hidden gems that remain unexplored but possess immense tourism potential.
Tourism का उनको हम promote करें.
Meanwhile, over in Bhaderwah, the Fourth Lavender Festival just concluded last Sunday. The two-day festival was organized by the CSIR Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine in Jammu. The theme for this year's event was Lavender Goes Global, and it attracted farmers, entrepreneurs, scientists and visitors from across Jammu and Kashmir. Located just over 50 kilometers from Ramban, Gool remains one of the lesser explored corners of the Chenab Valley. Organizers estimate that between 7,000 and 10,000 people attended the festival, reflecting growing interest in offbeat destinations across the region. And adjacent to Kashmir, in Ladakh, the Drass Summer Carnival 2026 also took place last week and featured colorful cultural performances, traditional sports and enthusiastic public participation. Held in Drass, the festival attracted locals, tourists and athletes, highlighting the region's growing appeal as a tourism destination. Running from June 3rd to June 7th, the carnival showcased the unique culture, heritage and hospitality of Ladakh. Visitors could enjoy traditional sporting events such as horse polo and archery, alongside cultural exhibitions. A wave of excitement and optimism sweeps across Kashmir and Ladakh as the much-awaited Zojila Tunnel nears completion, promising to revolutionize travel, tourism and trade in the region. Residents, tourism stakeholders and visitors alike are eagerly awaiting the opening of the strategic tunnel, which is expected to significantly improve connectivity between the Kashmir Valley and the Ladakh region. In a landmark achievement for India's infrastructure sector, the two ends of the 13-kilometer-long Zojila Tunnel have been connected following a controlled blast. The breakthrough explosion marks the successful completion of the excavation phase of one of the country's most ambitious and challenging transportation projects. So, how will this impact tourism in the region? Tourism operators in Sonmarg, one of Kashmir's premier tourist destinations, believe the tunnel will usher in a new era for the sector by making travel faster, safer and more convenient. The improved road connectivity is expected to boost tourist arrivals and open up several new destinations for visitors exploring both Kashmir and Ladakh. Local tourism stakeholders in Sonmarg have welcomed the development.
The opening of the Sonmarg-Ladakh tunnel will have a major impact on the tourism industry. It will substantially increase tourist arrivals in the region and create new opportunities for local communities associated with tourism.
Visitors are equally enthusiastic, noting that the tunnel will eliminate the need to cross the often challenging Zojila Pass, cutting travel time, costs and improving safety.
Tourists always look for convenience and easy accessibility, and the opening of this tunnel will greatly reduce travel time between Kashmir and Ladakh. It will allow visitors to explore multiple destinations in a shorter period, making their travel experience more enjoyable and efficient.
The tourism sector of Sonmarg has already seen significant changes following the opening of the Gagangir-Sonmarg tunnel in 2025. The route, which previously remained closed for months during the winter due to heavy snowfall and avalanche threats, is now accessible year-round. The project is expected to allow tourists to visit Ladakh even during the winter months, encouraging winter tourism in Ladakh. Regions such as Drass, known as one of the coldest inhabited places in the world, record temperatures as low as -30 degrees Celsius during winter. According to official figures, nearly 25 tunnels of varying sizes have either been completed or are in the planning stages across Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh since 2020. Of these, around 18 tunnels are currently under construction, while plans for 12 additional tunnels are being prepared, showing the government's continued focus on strengthening connectivity in the Himalayan region.
The Zojila Pass, which is one of the toughest roads to cross, would get closed for around 4 to 5 months every winter. And also, if you talk about Sonmarg in general, this area also would get completely shut off from rest of the country because of the snowfall and avalanches. But with the tunnels that have been made in the recent years, that have really helped the tourism industry across Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. With video journalist Firoz Idris Sloan for WION World is One.
It is often said that time is the ultimate arbiter of great art. But in Barcelona, time operates a little differently. Antoni Gaudi, popularly known as God's architect, left behind a city defined by his genius, and a masterpiece that seemed destined to remain forever incomplete. Today, history comes full circle. On the exact centenary of his passing, the Sagrada Familia has unveiled its crowning glory, the Tower of Jesus Christ. Our next story explores how a centuries-old dream has finally reached the heavens, claiming the title of the tallest church in the world. Take a look.
From a distance, it resembles a bristling organic behemoth rising abruptly above the Barcelona skyline. Up close, it feels less like a building and more like a living, breathing organism. This is the Sagrada Familia. Inside, the conventional boundaries of architecture simply dissolve. Instead of rigid stone pillars, visitors walk through a literal forest of stone, where massive supportive columns split into branches, holding up an abstract ornamental ceiling illuminated by a kaleidoscope of light filtering through stained glass. What began in 1882 under a completely different neo-Gothic plan was transformed by Gaudi into a wild, pioneering fusion of Gothic geometry and Art Nouveau. He gave the last years of his life entirely to this sanctuary. Yet when he died in 1926, the blueprints were largely fragmented and many were destroyed during the Spanish Civil War of the 1930s. Deciphering his vision has taken a century of collective architectural detective work. Now the final piece of this grand puzzle has been locked into place. The newly inaugurated Tower of Jesus Christ stands at a staggering 172.5 meters. And now the inauguration of the central tower marks a rare historical moment. Pope Leo becomes the third pontiff ever to step inside the basilica, delivering a solemn mass and blessing the tower that officially makes this the tallest church on earth. The specific visit is timed to mark the 100th death anniversary of Antoni Gaudi, the basilica's legendary architect who died on June 10, 1926. The inauguration of the central tower of Jesus Christ officially makes the Sagrada Familia the tallest church in the world. At its absolute peak sits a massive four-armed cross. It is as tall as a 5-story building and weighs roughly 100 tons. To make Gaudi's dream a reality without collapsing the structure under its own weight, modern engineers had to use a modern compromise: prefabricated concrete reinforced with lightweight stainless steel sections engineered in Germany. But the true soul of this monument lies in the thousands of pristine ceramic tiles, all reflecting the intense Spanish sun. They are the work of the Camellas, a local family of Catalan artisans whose workshop in Granollers has been manipulating clay since 1880.
La complejidad de la cruz es que, al ser una cruz que los brazos se abren,
the cross is a very complex structure, with arms opening in 4 directions. There are 300 different types of pieces, 13,000 in total, more or less, with 7 different colors. The complexity here was to create an order of production to produce all those pieces, which would have to fit perfectly given they had different shapes and colors. We started with the arms, one at a time, then the central body of the structure.
Empezamos por los brazos, brazo por brazo, luego la parte central.
Inside the tower, the work is far from over. Artisans are currently assembling a massive 60-meter-high ceramic mural depicting the story of the universe. Designed by renowned Japanese sculptor Etsuro Soto and brought to life by the Mela family, it uses over 50,000 hand-painted clay tiles.
El proyecto es de Sagrada Familia.
The project is from Sagrada Familia, and the theoretical design is from the Japanese sculptor Etsuro Soto. We worked on the colors according to what was possible with our ceramic materials, so we could adapt to those ideas of the colors of the universe since its Big Bang origins. I would like it if when people enter the Tower of Jesus, they have a sense of respect for the work created, for Gaudi's work, as well as for our own interpretation of his idea, to have that respect for such monumental work. We are talking about one of the world's largest ceramic murals.
Pensamos que es de los murales cerámicos más grandes que existen.
To understand the scale of Gaudi's genius, one must step outside the church and explore the playground of his imagination. High on Carmel Hill lies Park Gue. Built between 1900 and 1914 as an experimental landscape, its iconic terraces and serpentine benches curve naturally with the hillside, completely draped in vibrant, fractured mosaic work. Opened as a public park in 1926, it stands today as a UNESCO World Heritage Site where nature and architecture dance in absolute harmony. Descending back into the heart of the city, the urban grid gives way to the surreal contours of Casa Batlló, a radical 1904 remodel of an existing building. Locals affectionately call it the House of Bones due to the skeletal, organic quality of its exterior columns. Step inside and you discover a marvel of engineering in the second-floor gallery. Slender stone columns frame a grand living room flooded with natural light, a design deliberately crafted so the elite families of 20th century Barcelona could see and be seen, cementing their social status. While intricate decorative work inside the main basilica will continue well into the next couple of years, the skyline of Barcelona has been permanently transformed. A century after its creator was laid to rest, God's architect finally has his crowning spire. And well, for me, it is one of my top traveled experiences anywhere in the world.
From medieval battlefields to modern-day challenges, some traditions must adapt to survive. In Japan, a 1,000-year-old samurai festival has made a historic change after extreme summer heat put both riders and horses at risk. Here's the story of the Soma no Moe festival. Originally conceived as a grueling military training exercise for medieval mounted warriors, the Soma no Moe festival still carries the exact same raw intensity. Riders clad in heavy 25-kilogram samurai armor compete in high-risk horseback events, racing across dirt tracks and battling to catch falling flags. Yet as global temperatures shatter records, Japan's summers have transitioned from merely oppressive to outright lethal. Historically held in the blistering heat of July, the festival hit a breaking point when the mercury was around a blistering 40 degrees Celsius. Spectators collapsed, riders fainted, and tragically 2 animals died of heat stroke. Japan's weather agency even coined a grim new term for these extremes: cruelly hot days. This prompted organizers to switch the festival to the cooler temperatures of late May. For Mitsukio Monma, a 69-year-old veteran who has ridden in this festival for over 5 decades, the shift wasn't just logical, it was a literal lifesaver.
I have been taking part for decades, but every year, as the festival gets closer, I feel a kind of excitement. My passion starts to build, and on the day itself, I really become, in a sense, a samurai. 3 years ago, during the hot season, 2 horses died from heat stroke, or rather dehydration, and among the people taking part, I myself actually collapsed. Several dozen tourists were also taken to the hospital by ambulance. Because of that, 3 years ago, the festival was urgently moved from July to May.
The relief among participants is clear. Wearing traditional layered kimonos beneath heavy metal plates is tough under a July sun. This year, under pleasant 18-degree May skies, the atmosphere changed from survival to celebration.
Horses cannot say, "It's hot," because some became unwell in the summer heat, and very sadly, some horses even died. It became clear that continuing the festival as a cultural property would be difficult under those conditions. So it was decided to move it to a slightly cooler time of year.
The festival began around 1,000 years ago, and records suggest it has been held uninterrupted for at least the past 400 years. when the 2011 earthquake and tsunami claimed over 18,000 lives and triggered the nuclear evacuation. The Soma Numaoi became the psychological anchor for a shattered community. It didn't matter that the fields were contaminated or that their homes were gone. The samurai rode anyway.
I think there are many people here who are not only locals, but also people who have simply come as tourists. I also think many people became interested in horses through horse racing and then thought they might come see Soma Numaoi. And there are also many people who are interested in horses that have retired from racing and are now living a second life and who follow them for that reason.
Against the odds, the spirit of the samurai endures. By adapting to a warming planet, this ancient festival has chosen survival over stubbornness, making sure that the warrior spirit lives on to fight another century. Dubai is the city of gold and glitz, but right now the world's most glamorous hotel strip is facing an unusual problem. The tourists have left. While the West Asia war has triggered fear among tourists, hotels in Dubai have turned inwards and now offer their own residents a deal they can't refuse. Let's see what that is.
The conflict with Iran has driven international tourists away from Dubai's luxury resorts, and the ripple effect has hit the emirate hard. Dubai's over 800 hotels, including more than 160 five-star properties, had previously boasted average occupancy rates above 80%. This year, that number has taken a serious hit. But here's the pivot. Rather than cut staff or shut doors, Dubai's hotels are doing something out of the ordinary. They're turning to the over 4 million people who already live here. Residents are being lured in with deals that have kept properties like Anantara, The Palm, cash positive and free of layoffs. With its overwater villas, artificial lagoons and Thai-inspired decor, the luxury hotel is packed with Dubai residents, who get special discounts of up to 50%. Fadi Iskandarani, a Lebanese national who has lived in Dubai for 5 years, has decided to opt for a staycation after seeing that a hotel on the Palm has slashed its rates by a factor of 4.
So luxury in Dubai become affordable for a resident in Dubai. Before it was just for rich, very rich people. It was a great one because the hotel was cheaper than normal. So instead of paying like 5 times the rate, it was like the quarter of the 25% of the normal rate.
But there's a catch, and hoteliers are the first to admit it. A staycation guest stays 1, maybe 2 nights, while an international tourist might book for a full week. And here the math just doesn't add up, as these staycations may not be enough for the hotels in the long term.
Weekends for us, especially a Saturday night, we tend to be above 90% occupancy. And on a Friday night, we tend to be around 70 to 80% occupancy. The weekdays themselves, Sunday through to Thursday, not so much. We have average occupancy now at around 20 to 30% occupancy.
Some properties, including the iconic Burj Al Arab, have used the slowdown to temporarily close for renovations, making the best of a difficult situation.
If we see some form of resolution in the next month or so, the resilience of UAE and some of the GCC countries, I think you'll see tourists come back faster than everyone anticipates.
Dubai has reinvented itself before from a desert trading post to a global tourism powerhouse. It welcomed nearly 20 million visitors in 2025, built on the reputation of safety and connectivity. Now Dubai's ability to reinvent itself comes to a test again.
That's all we have for you on the show this week, but we return next week with more travel content. Until then, it's me, Johan Castell, signing off. Goodbye.